All right, in this video, we're going to talk about 3 more predictions for 2012. And if you saw the last video, you saw that I talked about nutrition and diet. You saw that I talked about Rafa Nadal and one other prediction that I'm not going to become a technology whiz this year, but I am going to be committed to being the best coach I can be. That's something that I can assure you of. Now, in today's video, we're going to talk about 3 more predictions. Number 1, I am predicting that, again, like last year, no U.S. American woman is going to break onto the scene and really make a splash. Now, when I say that, that basically means that no one's going to be in the top 10 or even the top 20 other than the Williams sisters that come from U.S. soil. Now, for the next 12 months, you're going to see that. But something that we can get really excited about is in about 4 years' time, I do believe America is going to make a resurgence. We had 3 girls in the Eddie Herr Junior Tournament in the semifinals of the Eddie Herr this year. That's something that usually doesn't happen. Usually the Eastern Bloc, Eastern European countries, and Russia own a tournament like that. So look on the horizon in 3, 4, 5 years for American women players to be in the top 10 again. But you're not going to see any of that this year unless Serena Williams makes a resurgence and she decides to get serious about her tennis. Now, the other prediction that I'm going to make is that older players are going to do better, continue to do better. Now, when I qualified for the US Open for the first time at the age of 29, that was considered old. But now 30 is the new 23. Roger Federer is playing amazing tennis at age 30, and you see other players, Roddick, Rainer Schüttler. These guys are close to 35 years old. I mean, they're eligible to play in the 35 and overs, and they are not showing any signs of slowing down. So again, with the training regimens, with the nutrition, with the professional focus on playing as long as possible, you're going to see more and more athletes playing later in their careers, which means it's going to be more difficult for that young player to break onto the scene. The days of Boris Becker at age 18, 17 winning Wimbledon are over. If you're 19 or 20, you have to be very exceptional and very professional to break into the top 50, top 30, or even top 20. Rafa Nadal was one of the last guys to really break onto the scene and get into the top 5 in the world at 18, 19, 20 years old. So really look for the young players to struggle. You might see them hover around the 80 or 70 range in the world, but it's really difficult at 18, 19 to break through because these older athletes, they're more experienced, they're wiser, they have the modern strokes, they have all the footwork, and they're more dedicated, they're stronger physically, they have their team around them, that structure in place. So you got to look for those younger athletes. It's going to be a slower ride. But if they hang with it, they can play later into their careers and do very well at 26, 27, 28 years old. And the last prediction I'm going to make in today's video is that, let's actually go back to 2011. I predicted that Andy Roddick would not finish in the top 10 for the first time in many years. Now, some of you might have doubted that. I even doubted it after the first week of 2011 when he did very well down in Australia before the Australian Open in one of the warm-up tournaments. But he really struggled this year because he didn't evolve his game. He's been struggling by staying back too far on the baseline, not going for his shots, and guys are catching on to his serve. I think Andy is going to struggle again this year, but my prediction for an American player is that Mardy Fish is going to continue to be in the top 10. I think that he has his fitness down. I think he has his support team down, and he really has shown that he is able to play from the backcourt. He's improved his forehand, and he's also been able to transition forward into the court because of the improved movement. He's got great hands around the net. He's got a world-class serve and return, and as long as he stays healthy, he will be a top 10 player. Now, another American to look out for is Big John Isner, who I had a chance to see a couple weeks ago down in Saddlebrook. He has a chance to be in the top 10 as well by virtue of his amazing serve and great forehand. But the problem that I see with John Isner is he's a big guy. He goes about 250 pounds. I think he's going to have injuries this year. So I think injuries are going to make it tough for him to break into the top 10. That's why, again, I look for Mardy Fish to be your top 10 American this year in 2012 and maintain the results that he had in his 2011 campaign. So those are my 3 predictions for today. Older players are going to do very, very well, making it hard for the younger players to break through into the top 20 in the world. Mardy Fish is going to be a top 10 player again, and the American girls are going to struggle. Those American women are going to struggle getting into the top 20, top 10 in the world, but we'll see a few of them in about 4 to 5 years. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and we're going to get to the next video in a day or two, my last predictions of 2012.